Hello Aries, welcome to your overview of 2023. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please make sure you check all your placements to get a clear picture of what's going on for you at this time. As always, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate for all of you. Please take the bits that do resonate and leave the rest behind for somebody else. Now, we're doing things a little differently today. No oracle cards, no charms. The Hanged Man wanted to show itself. None of that. I am going to be looking at your 12 astrological houses. If you don't know what they stand for, I will mention the significance when I'm pulling the cards. I'm using the tarot of light and shadow. So we're going to use the shadow deck to see what it is that you need to leave behind when it concerns that particular house. And then we'll use the light deck to see what it is that you need to embrace. Sounds a little complicated, but it's not, I promise you. All right. Let's get to it. Now, your first house signifies you rule the first house, right? Every particular zodiac sign rules a particular house. Aries rules the first. And this house is about, well, your identity, how you show up in the world. All right. Let's see. Jupiter has entered your sign, which is fantastic. That's a whole lot of blessings because Jupiter is the great benefic. Let's see Aries. That's it. The world. I love it. Oh my goodness. You know how important this card is in this particular position? Because the world is literally the last card in the major arcana in the tarot. So you have successfully completed something like Jupiter has, right? Jupiter has successfully completed its position in all 12 signs and it's reached the first, which is Aries. So, all right, interesting. I'm going to elaborate a little further. Let's get the light deck out and see. The 10 of Swords is what you're embracing. You know, that's very interesting because you are, well, ruled by Mars, right? And Mars is retrograding in Gemini. Why I'm mentioning that is because Gemini is the sign of communication and information. The 10 of Swords, it's almost like, wow, this is blowing my mind a little bit. Okay, let me start with the world first. Like I said, the world is the completion of something. It is the completion of a cycle, right? It is graduation time. It's something that you have successfully learned. You're embracing the lessons, all right? It's almost like a massive transformation that's happened deep within your psyche, Aries, and it has polished you into somebody brand new. Every sword in the 10 of Swords is a piece of information. All right, it is something that it could just be one theme. All right, let's say it was a toxic relationship. That's not going to resonate for everyone. But let's say that you have repeated that lesson. It's almost like repeating a grade 10 times. All right, you've been taught the same lesson over and over and over again till you have graduated, until you've become a master. Now, embracing the 10 of Swords right here is absolutely wonderful because you're not going to repeat that grade again. Right? You have all that knowledge, you have all that wisdom, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I can finally move on with my life. Right? And through all of this pain, because the 10 of Swords is a painful energy, through all of this pain, you have reached a level of mastery, of self. Turning over a brand new leaf. My God, this is symbolic. This is symbolic. All right, let me get you eccentricity. Ooh, interesting. Saturn in Aquarius. I feel like you are being very experimental. You're being very innovative when it comes to the things that you are working on, the things that you are spending time on. Let's say you are putting yourself back in the dating pool. You are dating people who are completely different from your usual type, right? Or let's say you are looking for another career opportunity and you're not settling for things that you thought you were a master in. You're willing to learn more. You're willing to challenge yourself, right? And Saturn in Aquarius is actually quite wonderful because Saturn will be moving into Aquarius soon. It's been in Capricorn for a while, I think. I may be wrong. But yeah, there we have it. I think that's quite amazing. Okay, let's see. Now your second house. Your second house talks about your own personal income. It talks about your own personal resources that have nothing to do with anybody else. All right. It is Personal wealth, it could be property that is in your name, it could be a car that is in your name. It is just something, it's ruled by Taurus, it is something that brings you personal stability, right? Regardless of whoever it is that you are dealing with. Let's see, Aries. Oh, Ace of Swords. You're leaving behind some kind of challenge. Now, the Ace of Swords can be a truth, it can be an epiphany. It can also be something that has been exceptionally difficult to overcome, especially in the shadow deck. Now, you see, now that is a mountain, right? And mountains are notoriously difficult to climb. So I feel like you have reached a personal apex. Like I said, you've been mastering something. You see how wonderful that is. The Ten of Swords resets to the Ace of Swords. So whatever challenge it is that you have overcome when it comes to your own personal transformation, it has bled into your resources. It has changed how you look at your finances and what helps you feel stable. And this could be, again, an epiphany, a realization that, okay, well, maybe this isn't how I want to spend my 9 to 5. This isn't what is going to help me retire early, right? It could be a change in career direction as well. All right, let's see. What are you embracing? Oh, the Four of Cups. Saying no. Saying no to what is going to be a waste of your time. Saying no to something that's going to be boring, because that is what the Four of Cups is. The Four of Cups is boredom, it's despair. It's just like, meh, I don't want that. It doesn't look good enough for me. That is why eccentricity is here. Because you want something fiery like your own spirit. You want something that's fun and exciting. And well, monetizing on that, plain and simple. Now, I'm an Aries rising, right? And I left a very stable, very, very stable business behind and started tarot for a living. That is eccentric. It is. Whether we like it or we don't, but I have fun with it. It lights me up. So similarly, I feel like you are learning to say no to things that may seem conventional to society, but I mean, it doesn't sit well with you, plain and simple. Let's get you an oracle for this. Patience, Jupiter in Virgo. Again, Virgo is that sign which likes to, I wouldn't say criticize, I wouldn't say nitpick. It is someone who is very conscientious, right? That is Virgo energy. So I feel like you are very patiently waiting for the right opportunity. Okay, if you remember, if you're familiar with the original Rider-Waite, there's this fellow sitting under a tree. There are 3 cups in front of him, and there's a 4th cup that's being offered to him. We can look at it in a different way. He doesn't see that 4th cup just yet because it's not tangible, right? So you're patiently waiting for something to become very tangible in your life before you can grab it. And I feel like this patience is going to, well, pay off, because that is a Jupiter card, right? Jupiter blesses everything, and Jupiter landing in your 2nd house of income and personal wealth is a beautiful sign. So be patient. That is difficult for an Aries, speaking from experience, but be patient. You may just be surprised. The universe may just surprise you. All right, let's see. What do we have for your 3rd house? Now, your 3rd house is ruled by Gemini, and everybody's 3rd house is ruled by Gemini, okay, regardless of your rising sign. And this talks about communication, travel, information, intellect, wisdom, right? You can also talk about wit and humor. So let's see, Mars is retrograding in this particular sign. So things are a little awry till, I would say, the middle of January. But this is the rest of the year for you, right? So we can ignore that for now. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, wow, Aries, this is so perfect. The Queen of Swords. Now, in the shadow aspect, the Queen of Swords can be very bitchy. Okay, plain and simple. That is literally Mars retrograding in Gemini. That is somebody who is ready to fight, ready to argue, ready to debate, ready to quarrel at the drop of a hat, right? It is someone who does not mince their words. It is someone, there's a difference in between being blunt and direct, and a difference in between being rude, right? So you may have come across people that brought out the worst in you, where you felt like, I can't stand this person and I need to vent out at them, right? So you're learning that patience. You see how beautifully your cards are bleeding into each other. You are learning to be patient with your communication. You're learning to be patient with people. You're learning to, well, filter out your words before you lash out at somebody. And I think the same would go for other people you're dealing with. People will start becoming more patient now. And there will be fewer arguments once Mars goes direct. Let's see, what is it that you are embracing? The Four of Pentacles. Okay, wow. There's a lot of energy. You see, with the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, the fours usually talk about holding back a little bit. And I feel like I don't want to tell you to hold back. I mean, Jupiter is gracing your sign, for crying out loud. This is no time to hold back. But the Four of Pentacles can talk about self-preservation. Okay, picking your battles wisely, choosing where to invest your time and energy, choosing who to speak to, choosing which debates to indulge in and which ones to just let slide. Right? This is building boundaries around yourself and making sure that people don't leech off of your energy. Because that is key right now. There is Aries, you're the newborn of the zodiac, right? And you have this beautiful, playful spirit that everybody wants to be a part of. Everybody wants to have a piece of Aries. But it's almost like you're realizing that, okay, hang on a minute. I have all this bountiful energy, but is it going into the right places? Right? Because I don't think it has been. Which is why all these cards of holding back have been showing up. Oh, why am I pulling this? I need to get you an oracle. Let's see. Very interesting reading so far. Order. We have a lot of Virgos showing up. Moon and Virgo. Yeah, again, being very conscientious. Being very organized about... I'm almost feeling like, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting like, you know how in our calendars we make a to-do list that I have to do this today, I have to do this today. You're literally trying to organize how you speak to people. That, okay, on Tuesday, I'm going to get on a call with such and such. On Wednesday, I'm going to get in a meeting with such and such. You're not overburdening your system. Right? As an Aries, you want to get everything done. You are the least procrastinative sign in the zodiac, right? You are always on fire. You want to go, go, go. But you're being, again, patient. You are being very organized and you're being very orderly about everything. And also when it comes to travel, I feel like this is not a time for you to just backpack and fly off, right? This is a time for you to truly plan your itinerary and make sure that every single minute is accounted for so that there are no unhappy surprises, right? And also when it comes to people communicating with you, I feel like things are going to be very peaceful. That's what I'm getting with order. Things are going to be like all your ducks lined up, you know, people are not, it's not going to be eccentric in terms of, there's no Uranian energy here, is what I'm trying to say. Right? There are no tower moments. There's not going to be any unhappy communication, unhappy surprises. So I like that. I do. All right, let's see your fourth house. Now, your fourth house is ruled by Cancer and it talks about the home. It talks about family life. It talks about your day, not your day to day, but what brings you peace, what brings you comfort and safety. Let's see what we have right here. You will hear a drill in the background. I'm sorry about that. Right, we have the page of... Wait, what is Serpents? This is a new deck for me. I apologize. I think Serpents is Pentacles. Yeah, Serpents is Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Strange card to get right here. The Page of Pentacles can be... Well, it can be a student. It can be somebody who is trying to study something. It is the homework card, right? It is someone who's trying to gain information and trying to master something. It is an initiator. So it is possible that you have been, for some of you, it's possible that you were looking for a new home. You were probably looking at listings and trying to find the perfect house for yourself. And then we have the Four of Wands. My goodness, how many fours do you have? What did I say, Aries? What did I say about finding a new home? The Four of Wands is literally the card of the home. And this is the fourth house. I love it. Okay, I love it. The Four of Wands is an emotional milestone. It is the completion of something. It is reaching that apex in your life where you feel like, all right, I'm good. I have won the race. I'm getting emotional. But if you were looking for a new home or you were looking for a partner to settle down with, you were looking to move in with somebody, I feel like with the Four of Wands, that is happiness. And this can also be a precursor to marriage. It can be a pre-marriage card. It can be the card of an engagement. So where you felt you were lacking and you were striving to reach somewhere, I feel like you're reaching it, my friend. I think that is absolutely wonderful. Wow, what a good reading so far. Influence. Okay, I like this. This is Mercury in Libra. Now, Libra, as we know, rules the 7th house, and Mercury is the planet of communication. So it is possible that some of you may be influenced or tempted a little bit to get into whatever this is. Okay, someone may influence you or tempt you to, okay, you know, why don't you just move in with me, right? Think very carefully if that is your future. All right, think very carefully. If you see how there's a lot of energy of holding back a little bit, you don't want to be tempted or influenced into anything. I don't think anyone can influence you, Aries. You're too headstrong in the best way possible. But I feel like just make sure this influence is gentle. All right, just make sure it's not manipulative in any way. But I do see you kind of solidifying something when it comes to the home front, changing your home situation, but in a really good way. It is related to love for sure. All right, now let's get into your 5th house. Your 5th house is ruled by Leo, and it is the house of romance, dating, creativity, anything that brings you fun. And it is also the house of children. So anything that is really playful, okay? It could also be like hobbies, you know, things that bring you joy. Knight of Swords is what you are leaving behind. All right, interesting. Let me get your light card. What is it that you are embracing, Aries? The Chariot. Beautiful energy. The Chariot is Cancer energy. You see how everything is bleeding in so beautifully? I'm almost getting like, you know, when you are like shading a color bar and you're moving from one color to the other, and then just to make sure the colors are seamless, you blend them with a tissue paper. That's what I'm getting. Some of you may be artists. You may be learning the fine arts. You may be delving deeper into that, because this house is perfect for that kind of energy. But with the Knight of Swords, now the Knight of Swords in the shadow aspect can be somebody who is very impulsive and reckless. Okay, somebody who goes head first into something without really thinking of the consequences. But the Chariot is controlled movement. All right, this is balancing yin and yang. It is balancing light and dark. It is studying the consequences before you take that leap. So again, I'm seeing you being very intentional about the direction you are taking your life in, and very intentional about not just dating, because this house does signify that, but what brings you fun. Okay, like sometimes when, especially when Mars is retrograding, when we have all that passion and aggression and drive and power to do something, we jump into something without even thinking about it, right? And that can land us in a soup. But when we are intentional about it, that all right, I have all this adrenaline, how can I conscientiously use that energy in a constructive way? Okay, it could be, let's say you are full of anger, okay, at a particular moment in time. Instead of breaking a plate, why don't we do a little Zumba, right? Why don't we dance it out? Why don't we lift some weights? Why don't we, you know what I'm saying? So this is calculated fun is what I'm getting. It is just being very careful about, again, where your energy is going, Aries. I feel like with Jupiter in your sign, there's a whole lot of bountiful energy in your life. And where and how that is directed is, well, very important. Now, some of you may even take up, let's say, running or something as a hobby. You may take up dancing as a hobby. But with the Chariot, I see fast-paced movement. When it comes to even your dating life, I feel like things are going to be moving for the better. Publicity. Ooh, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Jupiter in Leo. That is stunning, right? I did say 5th house is Leo energy. So, some of you may very well be in the public eye. Whatever it is that you are indulging in and spending time in, even if it's a hobby, whatever it is for you, I feel like you're shining in this aspect. Even when it comes to dating and romance, I feel like you are, well, in the spotlight. And people are looking at you in as now. Okay, what is really interesting is, I'm getting so hyper in this reading, pardon me. The Chariot is written by the Emperor, right? You are the Emperor as an Aries. That is your card in the tarot. And the Emperor is a public figure. The Emperor is someone who is always in the spotlight. I sense a whole lot of power here. And I feel like a lot of that power is going to be generated for you from this 5th house of creativity and romance and fun. Wow. Power from fun. You're going to be powerful and you're going to have a lot of fun being powerful. Does that make sense? If there are any hobbies that you want to show to the world, okay, let's say, like I said, you're an artist or you're a singer or you like theater or whatever it may be, step into that. Okay, don't shy away from it. Wonderful energy. I love it. Okay. Aries, 6th house. 6th house is ruled by, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. The 6th house is ruled by Virgo. This is the house of health. It is the house of your day-to-day routine. It is about the building blocks of your life, basically. Things that add up to make your life complete. You are leaving behind the 9 of Cups. Interesting. In the shadow aspect, the 9 of Cups can talk about greed. It can talk about filling up your life with things that you think are making you happy, but really are just making you feel empty. For some of you, it's possible that you have been on a particular medication that you thought could help you, but it's run its course and you're like, that hasn't done jack shit, right? So that is leaving that behind. For some of you, this could also mean that you have, let's say, there's a particular diet that you have been following, right? And you've been putting your time, effort, and energy into it, but again, you're not seeing any results. So leaving that behind. For some of you, this could also be leaving behind. For some of you, don't get mad at me. It could be leaving behind gluttony, okay? Whether this comes to alcohol, it could be any kind of addiction. It could be overindulging in food, in desserts. It could be an overindulgence of anything, because that is literally the 9 of Cups energy. So moderation, you are moving towards moderation is what I'm getting. 6 of Swords. For some of you, if this was an addiction of some kind, it could have been smoking, it could have been drinking, whatever. I feel that you are almost feeling a sense of relief that you are not dependent on this anymore. The 6 of Swords is the energy of moving on from chaos to calmer waters. It is leaving something behind. And again, the 6 right here is for the 6th house. Very interesting. I'm going to need an oracle here to elaborate just a little bit, but it's almost like some kind of routine that you thought was good for you really isn't. Resistance and companionship wanted to show up. Caution. Mercury in Virgo. You have a lot of Virgo energy. You may be dealing with a Virgo or have it heavily in your chart, Aries. But I'm getting that something that could have challenged your health is coming to the surface. You're realizing it's almost like something that has been a very integral part of your life. Okay, let's say you drink 2 Diet Cokes a day. All right, okay, no sugar, no calories, it's good for me. It's really not good for you. All right, I'm not calling you out if you have a Diet Coke once in a while, you know, we all do that. But if it's like you're doing this every single day, thinking it's okay for me, it's not bad for me, it is awful for you. And you're realizing that now. And you're cutting it out, right? And the 6 of Swords is moving on from the 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Swords could be that aspect of trying to win at all costs. Does that make sense? So I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. What you think is good for you isn't. Aries, and you're realizing that. Plain and simple. And I feel like some of you need to start hydrating more. You need to start drinking more water. 6 of Swords is also a water energy in the sense of the illustration of the card. All right, 7th house. Let's get to the juicy stuff. This is your long-term commitments, long-term partnerships ruled by Libra. It is the house of marriage. It could also be the house of business partnerships. 2 of Wands. Leaving behind something. This is literally the card of leaving behind something. So what are you leaving behind? What are you embracing? Aries. Ace of Wands? What? 2 of Wands, Ace of Wands. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, I'm so tempted to take out the Rider-Waite and show you the illustration. That's going to take forever. Listen, the 2 of Wands in the illustration of the original deck shows a man with 1 wand behind him, all right? And he's done with it. That wand is done, it's stale, right? And he's looking forward to another wand with the world in his hands. So that is the intention of moving forward to something brand new. What is that brand new? It is the Ace of Wands. It is a passionate beginning. It is a creative project. It is, well, not a creative project in this sense, because this is the 7th house. So this is, well, intimacy. It is passion. It is just a whole lot of everything. There is a beautiful and very intense connection. Whether you're already in it or you are looking forward to it, it is coming, my friend. Most definitely. The Ace of Wands is a brand new start. It is a fresh opportunity. Secrets. I'm going to get one more here. We have Venus in Scorpio and resistance. Ooh, Mercury in Taurus. Hang on a minute. Do you not want this? I don't think you want this. For some of you, this could be a secret. This could be like a secret affair. You know what I mean? That could be coming in. But for some of you, I feel like you are resisting this. I don't know why. You're resisting this for some reason, because yeah, I remember when I was reading the book about this deck, this parrot was portrayed as a very annoying character. Okay, so it is possible, someone who's very talkative. Listen to me. It is possible that whoever this person is that is coming towards you may be very secretive, okay, and maybe, this is very specific for someone, may be prone to small talk. Okay, it is someone who doesn't have a lot of depth when you meet them for the first time. Okay, but I would be patient. I would be patient and let this person open up a little bit. All right, Aries, I feel like on the surface, this person may seem like they're very shallow, right? But there's a whole lot of depth to them with secrets right here. It's like peeling an onion, right? Uncover the layers one at a time. But with the Ace of Wands, this is coming in fast. It's coming in quickly for you. And for some of you, there could be a Scorpio or a Taurus coming in for some of you. All right, let's see. 8th house. Now, the 8th house talks about things that we don't speak about in polite society. All right, it talks about death, debt, intimacy, and taxes. I know, it's a very strange house. It's ruled by Scorpio. What are you leaving behind? You are leaving behind the 7 of Swords. Right, so you're leaving behind... for some of you, it is possible that if you've been ignoring your taxes, you've been ignoring all that paperwork, you're leaving that procrastination behind. And if that drill is loud, I am so sorry. It is so annoying. But yeah, let me get your light card to see what you are embracing right here. The Page of Cups. Interesting. I'm almost getting whatever was a secret right here. Okay, this does bleed into the 8th house because it is the house of intimacy as well. And again, you have the Scorpio card. If something has been a secret when it comes to your relationships, I feel like it's coming into the light. You are wanting to let people know about it, just a tiny bit. And the Page of Cups, again, is the energy of, well, a sweetness. It is an innocence. So if there has been anything that you are running away from, okay, when it comes to all of those things that I just mentioned, especially when it comes to intimacy, I feel like you are embracing a part of yourself that craves it. Does that make sense? There's a lot of energy of you holding back. And for some of you, you may have been holding back when it comes to intimacy as well. But I feel like there is an offer coming in that is going to make you change your mind. It's going to make you want to indulge in this. Interesting. Defense. A lot of Taurus energy. You're being very defensive when it comes to love and intimacy, Aries, for some reason. Mars and Taurus. And again, I've been seeing how you've been trying to protect yourself. You did have the 10 of Swords right in the beginning with the World card. So I feel like there was a very unhappy ending regarding something. And you're being very wary of who has access to you. And I think whoever it is that you are dealing with or will be dealing with is going to realize that you have your walls up. Which is why they're entering as the Page of Cups and not like, let's say, the King, you know. So they're being very cautious about how to approach you because you are a little defensive. Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to go deeper there because that message was loud and clear. All right, let's see. 9th house. 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius. It is the energy of your, not the energy, it is the house of philosophy. of religion, of spirituality to an extent, but it is also the house of travel. It is what makes you tick, okay, your inner essence, what makes you feel free, what is the theme of your inner being. That's the best way I can put it. You are leaving behind some kind of wish, something that you thought would be a part of your life forever. That's what I'm getting. Something that you had your eye on for a very long time. For some of you, this could be a relationship. It could be a way of life. Let's say that you were practicing. I'm not going to mention any religion because I'm going to get into trouble. How should I put this diplomatically? I'm not going to put a name to it. You were following some kind of belief, some kind of ideology about life in general. Okay? I feel like you thought that would bring you healing. You thought that would bring you some kind of hope. But it wasn't. And this could even be a relationship. You thought that was going to be your be-all. And you wished for it for a very long time. But then you realized that, well, maybe not. Queen of Cups. Yes. Embracing you. Embracing your inner beauty. Your inner love. I'm getting you may have built castles in the air. Or castles on sand. Castles that weren't meant to last. There is something that is coming that is meant to last with the Four of Wands. But suddenly, it's almost like you're realizing that the way you were approaching your life, I'm getting love right here, I don't know why. The way you were approaching life and love was very different from how you were supposed to. It wasn't authentic. The Queen of Cups is a very authentic energy. It is somebody who loves fearlessly. Someone who has a whole range of emotions. Someone who has a very high EQ. Now, the star is Aquarius energy, right? And as much as I love Aquarians, one of my best friends is an Aquarius. We have speculation. They can be a little detached. So, if you have been feeling like you want to be in isolation, that you want to just be by yourself, and that is your philosophy, that is your ideology, that I'm not going to indulge in anything that has to do with variables, right? I feel like that is changing. You are embracing that mothering nature within you. Some of you may just be becoming mothers. It is possible. That's not for everyone. But you are embracing your inner love. You're operating from a place of the heart now. Criticism. You're getting so much Virgo energy. It is insane. Mars in Virgo. You see how that finger is pointing towards that woman. I feel like you're not pointing fingers at anybody else anymore. You are not criticizing anybody else. You are realizing that everything that reaches you is a reflection of you. So it's almost like you are embodying love. That is your philosophy now. Your philosophy is in being the embodiment of love so you can attract it. Does that make sense? Some of you may even be finding love while traveling. It is possible. All right, let's get to the 10th house. Now, 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. It is the house of career, your public image, your income to an extent, and it is very closely related to the 2nd house. So let's see. Ruled by Saturn. Page of Swords. You have successfully learned something. The Page of Swords can be a card of, well, again, homework, like the Page of Pentacles. It can be somebody who is keeping an eye on something. Let's say you're a content creator. All right, you've been watching your analytics, your YouTube analytics, or whatever, just an example, and you've cracked the code, right? It's like you cracked the algorithm. Let's see, what are you embracing? Oh, the Page of Pentacles. You see 2 pages right here. Some of you most definitely are learning something new. You're learning a new skill, you are learning a new talent. You may be just, getting into higher education. Some of you may be wanting to become teachers. It's possible, and if that is the case, then you're on the right track, that's for certain. But 2 pages, there is an initiation here. There is the beginning of something brand new here for you, and we saw that in the 2nd house as well, and in the 1st, in fact. Isolation. I need one more here. There's so much energy of you holding back, Aries. What is going on? Ooh. Saturn in Virgo again. You have so much Virgo here. 1, 2, 3. Is this a Virgo card? No, it's Scorpio. 4, 5. You have 5 Virgo cards. And that's insane in my opinion. Okay, I need one more here. Isolation and drama. All right, okay, this makes sense. So you remember when we had publicity here in your 5th house, which talks about the spotlight being on you. For some of you, I'm getting that you may have been getting negative attention. Okay, again, if you are famous or you're a content creator or you're somebody who's in the public light, in the spotlight, people may have been judging you harshly. You may have been getting bad comments on your YouTube videos, for example. Okay, and I get a few of those, so it hurts. But I'm almost feeling like you are isolating yourself from any aspect of your life that is going to cause drama, which is why we have all this resistance. You remember with the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is like every sword coming at you. It is like, let's say, a comment. It is a piece of news, conversation, anything coming at you where you feel like you are constantly being overwhelmed with other people's opinions. No more. With the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, for some of you, I feel like you are removing yourself from certain corporations even where there's a lot of gossip, where there's a lot of drama, and you are starting something brand new for yourself. For some of you, I am also getting that you are being entrepreneurs, because that is what isolation could signify. It could be that you are removing yourself from organizations where there are too many people involved and you are starting something alone. That's what I'm getting. All right, 11th house. 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and it is the house of friendships, your neighborhood, your community. 3 of Cups. You are leaving some kind of soul tribe behind, and I've been getting that throughout your reading. You can hear hammering and drilling, and it is awful. But I can't delay these readings, otherwise I'll be here forever. And I dropped a million cards, so you will have to excuse me. Right, so as I was mentioning, you are leaving some kind of soul family behind, because the 3 of Cups is literally the card of your community. People, this could be friendships and even like co-workers, because we've been seeing that in the 10th house, right? So the 3 of Cups in its shadow aspect is gossip. It is people who don't fill your cup. It is people who draw out of your energy. And again, we've been seeing that in all your houses. And you're embracing the 5 of Cups. That is very interesting. In the original Rider-Waite, you see a hooded figure, right? And he is mourning the loss of 3 cups in front of him. Okay, no gender in tarot. But what he's failing to see is that there are 2 cups behind him. I feel like you're finally turning around and seeing the 2 cups. The 2 cups can be anybody. It can be, of course, a friendship that turns into more, but it can also be making a new best friend. It can be making a soul sister or a soul brother or whatever. And the people who you thought had your back, I feel like some of them really, really don't. And this could even be neighbors. It could be anybody who's part of your immediate circle. Let's say you're a part of a club, a book club, for example, right? And you thought, well, these people are my people, you know. Some of them are really not, Aries. You need to be really careful about who has access to you. And truly turn around and see who it is that truly deserves your spirit. Principle. Interesting. Now, this is Jupiter in Sagittarius. And I feel like there is something about looking at the bigger picture here. There's something about not delving deep into the nitty-gritties of everything. But again, I did put a short a couple of days ago, a Christmas themed short, and it's reminding me of that. And the card was ornaments. Okay, and it was about how every ornament is like a person or a concept or a belief in your life that adorns your Christmas tree, which is, well, you, it is your aura, right? And it talks about taking a step back and looking at that Christmas tree of your life and seeing which ornament belongs where and which ornament just needs to be discarded, right? And that is the principle of the matter, right? It is the bigger picture. So what is it? Who are these people in your life that you don't see a part of your reality next year, 5 years, in the next 10 years? Remove them now. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. With Jupiter in your sign, I feel like it is time for you to thrive. And if Jupiter touches anything that is negative in your life, it's going to expand it regardless, right? So make sure you're only keeping happy and beautiful people in your life so that they can expand your spirit and like aid you in your journey, you know. Interesting. All right, let's get to the last house. This is the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces. It is a house of things that are hidden. This is your subconscious mind. It is spirituality. It is the occult. It is anything that is hidden. All right. Temperance. You see, remember I spoke about some kind of indulgences. We have the 9 of Cups somewhere. Yeah, right here in your 6th house. Some kind of indulgences. Now, in the usual temperance card, she is pouring liquid into this massive chalice. But right here, she is pouring serpents. Okay. Now, this does talk about addictions. It talks about pouring your energy into something or someone that is truly not good for your psyche. All right. Somebody who depletes you more than they nourish you. So again, we need to weed out, and this could be very subconscious as well. You know, it's like, you know, when you go to, let's say, a party, right, and you are conversing with somebody and you come home and you're like, I am exhausted, not physically, but mentally, I am exhausted, right? That is because the people that are pouring into you are pouring negative energy into your spirit. So temperance is Sagittarius energy, of course, but it is the energy of healing. It is the energy of being temperate, of indulging in activities that bring you to a place of harmony. No extremism, right? Not dealing with someone who makes you extremely happy and not dealing with someone who makes you extremely upset, right? It is someone who keeps you centered and grounded. And it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a practice. It could be meditation. It could be exercise. It could be art. It could be anything. So what keeps you centered, Aries? Now, you as a sign, me included, can be prone to extremism because we have so much energy, right? How we focus that energy determines our future, okay? Be very, very careful about where this energy is going. Exactly what I said, be careful about where this energy is going. 8 of Swords. Now, you see, the 8 of Swords can very easily become a prison, but those swords are disintegrating and they're making way for you to move forward. So if you have been having nightmares, if you've been overthinking about something over and over and over again, I feel like it is depleting your spirit, Aries. I don't know what this is in relation to, but from what I am getting overall in your reading is that you have been depleted, severely depleted, and you are being so careful about who has access to you. Bluff and impulsiveness. I feel, Aries, I need you to stop lying to yourself. Jupiter in Gemini and Mars in Aries. You see the Gemini, Jupiter, Mars, Aries, all of those transits are happening in the sky right now, my friend. And your soul knows. Your soul knows that it needs to work hand in hand with these energies. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in your head. Let's not be impulsive. All right. Let's rein in all that energy and direct it very, very carefully and stop lying to yourself. I feel like if you have been going through something particularly difficult, Aries, go through it. Sit with your feelings. I say that very often. When we are depressed, when we are anxious, we want to do just anything to get out of it, right? But when who was saying this? Rich Lop. He's this wonderful reader on YouTube. You can look him up. He said something very interesting the other day, that it's very untrue when they say that time heals all wounds. Time really doesn't heal all wounds. Let's say you were traumatized as a child, all right? You have those triggers and traumas. If you ignore them, they just snowball and make you into a very different kind of adult than you truly want to be. So until and unless you delve deeper into those traumas and truly heal them from deep within, they are just going to, well, manifest into a part of your personality that you may not like. Right? You don't want to marinate in that. You want to truly dig deep and heal whatever aspect this is. So the 8 of Swords can be you being stuck in your head. And the impulsivity card, it could just be that, oh, well, I'm stuck in my head. Let me just go bungee jump. No. Fine, go bungee jump if you want to. But don't you think it's important for you to spend a little quiet time with yourself and understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling? You know? Because with all that energy and drive, very little of that energy goes within you, Aries. It's mostly externalized. That's just how you are. It's time for you to reflect. Just a little bit, Aries. Okay? Lastly, I'm getting you an oracle. Happy, happy. Come on, this is beautiful. I hope this stays. I don't think it will. I'm just going to keep it here. Now, I'm going to hold it up because I need it for the thumbnail. But yeah, happy, happy is, well, the happiest card in the wisdom of the oracle. That is what spirit wants for you. That's what the universe wants for you. That is what the angels want for you, Aries. But I feel like you need to, again, have a filtration system in place. Make sure that not just you, I don't want you to become your worst enemy, you know. And once you try and start weeding out the people who bring out the worst in you, you start beautifying your spirit from within, because you're only surrounding yourself with people who nourish you. That is what is going to lead to this happiness. All right. That was it, Aries. I hope this helped. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.